Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. Appreciate your support as always. We have Marshall Matt, and he is back, and it's 1357, which he says he hasn't played for like 5 years. And he pretty quickly got into it and put some camo on it, but did not put a hat on. Bare head running around. Come on. Just for you that don't know, you get your camo value out of the whole camo, which means you can save money if you want your tank to look silly like Marshall Matt's tank. Hey, we're going to talk about the road less traveled. I've actually had a couple videos on this, and in particular on this map, I believe, although I came from the other direction, I was in a heavy. Marshall's in a light, and he does not, as you can obviously see, go up to the hill. He's worried about the DPM on the enemy team. Gets some nice shots in there and is lit up towards the end as the Tiger One gets close enough and he backs up. But this bush is definitely viable for scouts and mediums. Even heavies, but it's a little harder for them to get there on this map because it can kind of control this corner where you've got the KV-85 and the Defender and whatnot going on. It is a little bit vulnerable to the guys up on the hill, depending on if they're really staring at you quite a bit, although you will have shots back on them as well. And if you get spotted in the bush here, you can be shot by their snipers. Marshall's going to hang in here. I would have taken 2 shots and got out. As soon as he noticed and started looking, and wham. Now, I think he's running the small dirt. Had that been the big one and it pinned, you probably would be headed back to the garage or very close to it. As it is, he takes about half your hit points off. Small discussion here on using kits, because Marshall's going to do some things here that I wouldn't necessarily do. First, let me talk about the kits. I would have fixed that turret because the turret speed on a light tank is very important, especially if you get into a circling situation or you're attempting to engage more than one target. So that's what I would say about that. I'll talk about it a little bit later because there's another situation where I would have used it. Plus, if you use it now, there's a lot of battle left. More than likely it's going to recharge and you'll have it again. Next thing I'll say is the depression on this tank is tricky, and when you haven't played it for a while, it's something that will surprise you a little bit, but you're kind of up on this slope here. If you'd have come down to this flatter area, you could have come out behind the slope right there and probably put some shots into this 85 much faster. As it is, you get up there, no problem. You get a shot, you're going to come around and take him down. Nice job overall, I thought, on forcing reload. You saw he got down to 1 shell right there. For the audience at home, autoloader reloading techniques are very important, and you'll see that the 1357 actually reloads quite quickly, and he gets the reload ready to go, and he's got this KV-2 down, puts a hit, the guy misses, he's bumming, and that's pretty much all she wrote for the KV-2. So the small gun and a miss, and we're up to 1331. We keep the 2 shells because I think he's expecting a shot pretty soon. There is a JP hanging out there doing something, not sure where he is. And then he finds him right there, seeing if he can work a shot on him. Can't quite get to him. The other thing to watch out for on autoloaders is you'll notice in there he forces the reload. He says, all right, you know what, I want all 4. The JP didn't push me, I don't have easy shots, so let's go ahead and reload all 4. The other thing to think about on autoloaders like this is he's got 7 shells. So he's going to have a 3 shell reload or have to go to something else. And he actually comes up here, and I'm a little bit surprised that he stood in. I don't know if he saw a shot coming. I thought he was unspotted, but he did get the light bulb. So that was interesting to me. You may have to explain it down there. I couldn't quite figure out why you might do that other than just thinking, hey, I can take a hit from the JP and I want to try to clip him out. And here we are on that 3 shell reload. So that's the thing I was talking about. Instead of having 4, he waits the full time to get 3. This is a nice job with auto aim. It comes across here. This is a skill I don't have very much of. He comes through here and you can't quite see it. He zooms out, puts that dude, highlights him, and then just starts firing away. The replays aren't quite right sometimes, so I'm imagining he actually got a highlight on that guy with his auto aim right there before he started shooting. It didn't show it on my replay, but that's not unusual. And now we're into the gold. He is carrying 16 APCR, but it's at that critical phase of battle. So as opposed to front-loading that and worrying about it, now he's got it. And that's good news because he's fighting a Defender, a Tiger, a Type 59, lots of things with some decent armor. Kind of comes back up here, and pretty soon it's going to be time to do something a little bit different. But for the most part, this spot has afforded shots over and over. So spots like this are good if the enemy is affording you the shots or you're able to create the shots from those spots. But simply going there because, hey, I saw a video where Guido showed Marshall Matt kicking some rear in this bush. If the entire fight is up on the hill or over at your cap or something, then it's obviously not a good spot. So when people say good spot, it's all relative to what's going on in the battle. In this case, it was a very good spot. He's at 2,400, kills another guy. 2 shells there, forces a reload. See how that works there, folks? Forces a reload. And Marshall, I'll just say, had you fixed your turret, you'd have had your kit back by now easily. A lot of people don't waste it on a turret because they're worried about getting tracked or something else, but the spot you were fighting and how you were working this particular battle for that moment, I think you'd have been fine there. And nice job on the running assassination. 1 shell. Auto aims and fires. Man, that's a situation where you have got to, if you're going to take that, try to use that one last shell, you got to aim in on this guy. You could have easily got up under his lower plate right there and put a shot into him, no problem. I know you're probably worried about the AT-8. Nice job, though, actually covering up with those buildings. Whether it was intentional or accidental, don't know. Make a decision here. Either push across and get the AT or swing back around and try to help the defender. The AT is lit and he's taking damage, so I think the best bet here was turn around. Look how slow that turret is. Oh, artillery almost got you. And now we're on a reload. Okay, so again, let's go back to talking about consumables. Man, I'd have hit that kit right there. I want my... If you're still reloading, that would have been an issue, not because you reloaded about the same time that you got stunned, so no problem, and you didn't have anything to shoot at. But for the reload, 1, 2, for the accuracy of the gun, I'd have just pressed forward. It's the end of the game. You want to get up here, get that accuracy going. You kind of shoot on the run, and then he ends up dying right there. But especially at the end of the game where, hey, man, I just want to try to get some more hit points. Go ahead and just press that. What is it, 3,000 credits or something? Who cares? Mo damage, mo damage. 2,684. Nicely done, man. 62 assists. 5 kills in the 1375. So kind of a road less traveled on mines. It's a good spot from the south. Obviously, you can't use it from the north. It doesn't work the same way. And it is situational, like most good spots are. As long as the enemy is affording you the shots, or you're able to create the shots from there, hey, by all means, start. Drop 2,684 in your 1375. But if the fight goes away, remember, you've got to be willing to leave it, which he did towards the end because that's what was required. Thanks for sending that in, Marshall. I do appreciate it. Lots of good points in there. For everybody else, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support, and we will see you.